hold on to your butts. These are the Squashbuckler Diaries. Welcome back. My name is Guy Hasson, and you're listening to the Squashbuckler Diaries podcast. The podcast about the girl in the dream, the girl who lives in her father's dreams. And unlike any other story unlike any other podcast this podcast goes through the heroine's life from birth to death and goes very slowly at it. We are going to cover all the years of her life. All the years, including the baby years, including the childhood years, which this is what this is about. And everything, almost everything in this first season of the Squashbuckler Diaries is an Easter egg, at least one, for things that will come in the future. I tell you this every so often, and yesterday the Red Dragon who tells this story, the Red Dragoness, who tells the story of the first season, hinted at this, and that there are going to be repercussions. There might be repercussions to things that happen in today's podcast, which are part 5 of our Santa arc. So no longer Santa. No spoilers if you haven't read it. So if you haven't listened to the previous episodes, go back to the first one, 153. You can also go back to episode 0, but go back to this little 5-episode arc and listen to it from the beginning. Okay? I'm not going to describe what happened. This is stuff you should know. Okay. Episode 157. Santa, Part 5. Promises of Revenge. Joy's age 4.5, told by the Red Dragon. Dragoness, remember? It is usually Dragon Lil who leads the defeated villains into the infinite corridor. It is she, even at age 2, even at age 3, and even in this case at age 4.5, who opens the cell door for them and locks them inside. The villains in Dragonfather's dreams are submissive at this stage, but not Captain Badass. Not that day after he tried to get Dragon Little alone, masquerading as Santa Claus. He had cried and raged and screamed and kicked so much so that Dragonfather would not let Dragon Little near him. Come on, he grabbed the peg-legged and now handcuffed villain by the arm. Let's go. What's the use of putting me in prison? Captain Badass ranted. I'll escape, you know I will. It was true. Of all the villains, it was only Captain Badass who was able to escape captivity. The prison did not keep him. He would always return. Yeah, Dragonfather said. Walk faster. I'll escape. Badass snarled at Dragonfather's face, and one day I'm going to find a way to kill you. Kill you! Move! Dragonfather pushed him forward. Captain Badass stumbled on his peg leg, then rose again to face Dragonfather. And then I'm going to kill her! In less than a second, Dragonfather's hand was around Captain Badass's throat, raising him a foot in the air. You ever touch her? Dragonfather was ferocious. You harm her, and I will burn you alive! Captain Badass whimpered and gasped for breath. Dragonfather took a deep breath and put Captain Badass back down. You never even think that again, he said. Captain Badass did not look at him this time. He held his throat and took a few steps towards the door to the infinite prison. I'm not a villain, he whispered. Yeah, keep telling yourself that. And with that, the two of them were out of my sight and walking down the stairs into the belly of Bonny's revenge. Captain Badass would escape, of course. I always wondered if I should tell Dragonfather how he did it. But I never did. I hope it was the right decision. Told by the Red Dragon. Hashtags Joy, Justin, Santa, Captain Badass. So, this episode contains many things. father's love, a villain, but also red herrings and many Easter eggs. And I'm not going to tell you what those are. I'm not going to tell you the various implications of things that you've seen in these 4 episodes. I'm not going to tell you that. You're going to have to figure it out by yourselves or wait until this comes back and then you'll get that this was planned way in advance. The various things that are going to happen to some or all of the characters in this story. Not going to say anything. So, I hope you enjoyed this 5-episode arc about Santa Claus, starting with He's Behind Me, Isn't He? And ending with promises of huge revenge. I will say that Easter eggs are not things that you expect them to be. So if it's something that's really clear from what you've read, that's not it. So, join us tomorrow for another exciting episode. No, join us tomorrow for another slice of life, of Joy's life. Most of it is not adventure. Most of it is just about Joy, their life in the dream, and who she is, and how she'll grow up to be what she is in the future. And now, the credits. The Squashbuckler Diaries are written and read by me, Guy Hasson. All the tags mentioned in this story are searchable at the website. You can find all the stories there in written form and, in fact, 150 Squashbuckler Diaries more. The Squashbuckler Diaries is the diary of Joy Shelley, the girl who lives in dreams. She'll be called the Forgotten Girl by her father. She'll be a true heroine. She'll change the world. This project shows her entire life from birth to death. Check out the website at guyhasson.com. That's GUYHASSON.com. I've been an author and a playwright for more than 30 years, and this is the first time I've used the guyhasson.com website, because The Girl in the Dream is my life project. If you have questions, if you want to comment, please do. You can comment at the website or email me at guyhasson@gmail.com. That's GUYHASSON, GUYHASSON @gmail.com. The theme music is called Brass Gentleman and is created by Thomas Howardek. My name is Guy Hasson, and this is my life project. Come back tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow for more. It is usually Dragon Little who leads the defeated. It is usually Dragon Little. It is usually Dragon Little